All right, we are live.
Prove it.
I have already proved it by not saying a vulgarity in the first few seconds.
Oh, I
That
meant
can be
like they were
remedied.
not AI. Like prove or not AI. They were not masterfully executed AI.
Oh, I mean, AI would be better. They'd stay on script probably.
Yeah,
AI
would
would have
probably
already
go
looked through the
jets.
articles I sent. You're right. AI would have been ready for the show.
AI wouldn't be annoyed right now.
AI would look better than we do too.
I understand the feeling of being annoyed right now.
I don't know. Maybe AI would, being it got in the electronics. I mean, even AI may have moved out by now.
We're a bunch of old portly guys in our 40s and 50s. I don't think AI would go with that model.
Who's in their 50s?
I mean, if it was imitating that pattern, it absolutely would.
Oh, you're in your 50s?
Yeah.
Damn.
Thank you.
Stop banging your knee then. You ain't got much more life in it.
The fact that I hit it so hard that I felt it through the numbness is actually pretty impressive.
Hey, man, if you're going to do it like you mean it.
Say a new Star Wars game may be announced at the Game Awards.
What, Fallen Order 3? Or
Knights of the Old Republic? They say
Wait,
either Star Wars
you.
Jedi. They say either Star Wars Jedi 3 or Knights of the Old Republic remake will be revealed next week.
The remake's been
I
out
thought they gave up on that already.
8 years ago.
Well, that's why it would be revealed again, I guess, is because everybody thought they gave up on it.
Because remember, Sam Max was the one that was writing the story as she was fighting the patriarchy and all that fun stuff. And eventually, I think they kicked her off the project, or she left the project, or I don't think she's involved anymore with it. But between the trilogy of Fallen Order or whatever, Survivor or whatever they call it, the third one, and then Eclipse is the other one that we've been keeping our pulse on. But no, we've been talking about these. These aren't new. Maybe an update would be interesting. Yeah. But I saw an update on the Fallen Order trilogy from EA, which they've been talking about. This is supposed to be a trilogy in the end of Cal Kestis, but they let it slip. So this week or last week that it's the next chapter. So it may not be a trilogy after all. So maybe that's the update you're talking about. Because they're supposed to be giving some information on the new Jedi game.
This is one of those.
Have been sneaky fun, by the way.
I think this is just one of those instances of media being dumb. Because like I was looking at it, so it's the gamer, and they reference this Caracas guy on Twitter, their source. A big Star Wars game announcement is coming very soon. If you go look at Caracas, the dude only has 4,000 followers. Has no, in the job or where he would get that information. So,
well,
just some rando on X said, "Oh, there's going to be a Star Wars announcement soon."
Well, you throw enough mud against the wall, some of it's going to stick, and somebody will eventually be right, even though they know nothing about what they talk about. Hell, we could throw enough reckless speculation from Q to be right about something at some point.
Hell, Q's reckless speculation is proven right more often than not, which is sort of scary because some of his reckless speculation is like, there's no way that's going to happen. And then, I
appreciate the honesty. And I will say, I try to go as far as I can, which is why it's disturbing, because I'm just like, man, you know what? Blah. And then everybody's just like, oh, hell nah. And then next thing you know, we're like, oh, wow, they did that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how.
I mean, it's not right. Q has a tendency to just call things, whether it be a build that supposedly doesn't work or just random speculation about games' futures.
I tell you what, I couldn't have seen coming. With everything I saw, I did not expect to get Mackenzie in frigging Metroid 4.
Well, let's get started.
Well,
Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And
We also have Bloodaxe.
Bloodaxe, who keeps
What's left of him anyway?
Me, who's infested with Japanese beetles. Q's the only one that's got a decent day. So.
No, I don't, because it's my job to get rid of the Japanese beetles.
Point.
And I'm literally calling people and trying to get in problems, trying to find out. But Orkin can't do spit. I don't care if I'm blasting them out. They can't do nothing.
I keep vacuuming them up, and then I'll vacuum them up, and then I'll take the poison and like squirt a couple of squirts down through the vacuum so that it
wipe them out, yeah, so they don't just come back out and re-nest.
But they
These
just keep
things
coming out of
coming
the
back
wall.
for years.
So
I'm gonna have somebody out this week, man. That's all I can say. That's all I can do is go. Hey,
I mean, I'm not putting you on blast on live. Well, I am, but not like maliciously.
Hey, dude, I've been paying folks. I'll put on blast if people ain't did the job I asked them to do. Orchid. They ain't never gonna sponsor us. Call them out. What can we do about this? Mm-hmm.
And today's episode of Dicejunkies is sponsored by
by Japanese beetles.
By Japanese beetles, yes. Hey, there goes one now.
We had as many viewers as we had Japanese beetles, man. I'd be able to pay off my Orkin bills.
There you go. All right.
But no, man, as I was segueing,
we could all do Dicejunkies full time. Shit.
But as I was segueing, because I'm going to grab the first topic, because when I think about it, I have to say that I never would have expected, like the other part we're going to cover about Metroid Prime, I would have seen, yeah, I would have expected Nintendo's greed, but like, I thought Samus was going to be alone on the planet, like doing her thing. All the videos led me to believe that this was a classic Metroid Prime. You're playing Samus, you're fighting space pirates and aliens and stuff, and you're doing your thing. So, like you said, it caused you not even want the game. When I saw it, I just went, we don't need a sidekick, and we definitely don't need, like, Nerd Boy, like, as a sidekick. I was just like, who is this character? Why is he in my Metroid Prime game, which now ain't my Metroid Prime game? This is not anything I think anybody wanted or needed. I believe the solitude would have set more atmosphere. Because I don't know why he's alive. Hard to think the planet's dangerous if that dummy is still alive on it. You know what I mean? You can't... yeah. And we're talking about a character from the trailers, and now people have played the game and gotten introduced to, and more than a few people hate the character. To the point there's already videos about, is he really that bad? Well, you know what? If there's videos about, is insert character really that bad? Then yes. Because that means there's enough people that hate the character that people are being contrary to defend it. Because that's usually what it is. There's always people that pull a Brian Griffin from Family Guy, and they just do the opposite of what people say. They just go, I'm going to say that this character's good. And it's like, no. You know, no, they're not. You know that. You're doing it for attention. Because if you can't be good, you'll be bad.
So before we jump into it, I got two thoughts initially. Number one is, how bad of a marketing did Nintendo do that I didn't even know it came out this week? I mean, that was... Normally we would talk about something as the hype train is built up to it. But number two, they fired or got rid of the first studio working on it, brought in the studio that did Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, and this is what they come up with? So how bad was the first iteration of Metroid Prime 4 if this is what we're getting? So y'all jump in, and I'll add my little Samus tidbits here and there.
It's like I said, it's just, you know, I'm amazed how this stuff keeps making its way into games where it's like, well, if we have a male character, the male character is going to literally be like comic relief, corny, why is he even there? This is a character that you should have found the corpse of. If we're being honest, you should have found his corpse. That's the way Mackenzie should exist in a game, is somebody, he got ate by something and you just find a body with a name tag that says Mackenzie. This is not the kind of character that should even make it on a planet that's supposed to be as dangerous as the ones that Samus is usually exploring. So it's a weird choice. I thought that, I mean, the last one you played was pretty good, wasn't it? The side-scroller Metroid you played, wasn't that a pretty good game?
Dread was a good callback, and there were no little sidekicks like that. And it was an interesting story. But the weird parry mechanics I thought was kind of a little odd. But other than that, it was a lot of fun. I mean, hell, I even bought the amiibos from that game and got the robot here. So yeah, I had a blast playing that one for sure.
Yeah, and it did not. So I don't know why they felt the need. And from what I understand, he's a chatty little bastard. You know, just running his mouth and being really irritating. Then there's another character. It's your usual, like, female character that's obviously way more competent than Mackenzie. And you're just like, Samus doesn't need a sidekick. We don't need side characters. No one. I only know his name because I've seen it in our videos referencing him. Other than that, the character's name, I literally saw it, and I'm like, oh yeah, this character, McKinney, this character. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even know his name. And honestly, Samus probably doesn't remember his name either. Character doesn't need to exist in the game. I'm not doing this to knock the game. I'm just saying, why is it in the game? Yet, what's not in the game.
Even Polygon says Mackenzie is annoying. So now they do praise Norma Armstrong, which is the other character, which apparently Samus's own secret admirer or something.
Yeah, they did that. I wasn't gonna go there, but I mean, yeah. Again, you know, it ain't a game if it ain't got that in it. I guess.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no.
I didn't realize being a bounty hunter versus space pirates was so lucrative in the streaming media and the fame department. That's just wild.
I mean, given how badass the space pirates are, I'm pretty sure somebody that takes them down regularly would be pretty famous. I mean, Ridley's terrifying. I'd be glad about anybody that keeps killing that giant space dragon. You know, like, hey, you take out Ridley? I'm cool with that. I don't want that thing flying around while I'm trying to travel from planet to planet. Now, but that's not the real talking point.
Now, Google AI actually summarizes initial reactions and impressions. And so their summarization, grabbing from various places on the internet, says initial reactions are mixed, with some praising the game and others expressing disappointment with certain aspects after a long wait. Some players criticize the open world design, citing issues with the desert area, mandatory crystal farming, and the bike sequence.
Well, it's because the bike sequence is so quiet.
Yes. And that will lead us into, apparently...
I mean, if you're not willing to...
You can play some music while riding Viola in Metroid Prime 4, but only if you buy the $30 amiibo.
Which, according to Bloodaxe, after checking, is actually $40.
So the ones I have, plus... this one, and so none of these will work. I'll have to buy another one just to be able to play music.
Well, of course.
I mean, this is the amiibo here that you need. It is $29.99 on the Nintendo Store.
Wait a minute. So are we just going to bypass the elephant in the room and go, why does Samus need a bloody motorcycle?
To ride around in the big empty desert.
I mean, yeah, apparently the desert and the motorcycle are points of contention. So,
okay, so no, the one that I saw online is the actual motorcycle for $39.99. So there's another one that is just Samus that, oh wow, that's...
But if you don't have this amiibo, Because I do believe it is possible. I think I heard somewhere that if you beat the whole game in 100% or something, you might be able to unlock the feature later. But essentially, if you don't have the amiibo, you don't have any music for this section. So it's just quietly riding across the desert in silence, mostly silence. And apparently that's super boring, as has been stated, because it's already not considered that interesting or anything anybody wants to do. But if you pop off $30, you get a radio.
Now, what they say is they think that there is initially there used to be music because the description of the amiibo says you can now change the background music when writing, but there isn't any music, so they think that Nintendo either took it out or it's a bug. But most likely they took it out so they could sell the amiibo.
They took it out. They took it out. They can say it might be a bug. They took it out. They took it out. Or
I added it might be a bug just because everybody, programmers suck these days. I'm sorry. When it comes to games,
but that's a day one patch though. That's a day one patch, man. You patch that. That ain't how hard is it to patch the music back in.
I get you. I won't doubt that they'll get enough slack on this that they might actually put music back in. It'll be crappy music, but they might do it.
But the idea that the amiibo, because I also thought it was weird the amiibo cost that much. I'm like, man, this Metroid Prime amiibo is really expensive. Oh, it's because it's got a feature behind it. Much like
no, they all have little
Kingdom,
things. And well, this one I got for $10. But no, you can scan these in for different games. It's not just for Metroid, but even for Super Smash and Mario Kart and other stuff, you can use them usually for other games other than just the Metroid game in most cases anyway.
They did the same thing in either Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. I want to say it's Breath of the Wild where like you could buy a Link amiibo to get like a motorcycle in game. It's basically a way to excessively overprice DLC because if they had put the radio as a feature that you just downloaded for $30, everybody, even Nintendo fanboys would have cussed them out. Even they would have been like, whoa. They would have had to charge $5 or $10. But man, making it a little toy, they can charge you $30 and go, no, you're also getting the collectible waste of plastic, that you can keep. Then go, hey, I got this collectible piece of plastic and I got DLC for it. It's a way to overprice DLC. After all, a skin for your character, most games, unless they're MMOs or those type, which can be really pricey, but for most games you paid full price for, new skins are $5, man. Rare case it's 10, but that's usually for a whole set of skins. But usually it's $5.
Here's why I question some of this because, like GameSpot says, players have discovered that plugging the Samus Amiibo enabled Viola radio, which enables players to choose the music that accompanies Samus' extended journey across Soul Valley Desert on the Viola. There is already some ambient music and noise to go with those scenes. This just allows players to choose music tracks from other areas to listen to. Finishing the game will also unlock 2 additional tracks.
That ain't what everybody else says. So they alone on that one. That's a 5-1, ain't it? And here's the thing.
I mean, I don't
if
know.
what they were saying was true,
I've seen one source so far, but
well, here's the thing.
I am looking for more to see if there is consensus on whether there's no music or if that was just somebody taken from one source. Because everybody's referencing the same Luke Stevens and all the articles that I've seen that mention that there's no music.
I don't hear any music, and I'm literally watching her ride across the motorcycle in the desert, and all I hear is the engine of the motorcycle.
So, I mean, it may be that since
there is, it's so low you can't hear it over the motorcycle.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Since the individuals have been saying there was no music, and yet the game review says there is music, it may be true that they took the music out.
Okay, here's what I can hear. There is a little bit in the background. There's a weird alien sound like a theremin. It just goes, ooh. I think I hear that. I
How'd
don't
they
think
go
I caught
again?
that music though. It's barely hearable, but then I kind of think I heard like a.
So several people have commented on this guy's post. I see. So just to kind of redirect the rage bait here, the Desert Soul Valley has normal ambient music. So
Unless the video you're watching where they went into the settings and turned music off.
Maybe because it was just mostly the engine.
well,
and
you got to
very
remember
slight-
copyright. We normally turn music off when we're doing videos because of copyright.
And Nintendo will banhammer you in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Sounds like it's a contentious one then. Some people are saying it's there, some people are saying it's not.
Well, none of us have
I
a
still
Switch
think
2.
that's way too much for that amiibo and what it does. Because it ain't to me whether they remove the music. I think, as I stated, what have I been saying? The DLC is ridiculously overpriced for like even a radio.
Yeah, you got to remember a lot of these games do have streamer modes, and streamer modes cut off music if it's copyrighted. So that's very likely what I think we're seeing here. Being that so many people, I see a lot of people have corrected this post to say that there is music.
And the amiibo has to do something in game, whether it's give you an alternate skin or in this case, radio stations.
Yeah, it gives you a jukebox mode is what that amiibo does.
So they have to tie it to something in order for them to just be able to utilize it, other than, like Q said, just a piece of plastic on a shelf. So it has to unlock and do something. In this case, it was just the music. But still, the pose is pretty cool, but it's not $30 cool. And I don't think any of us are going to be getting a Switch 2, and at least not until they fix the bricking situation. So until then, I don't think any of us will be able to enjoy the new Metroid Prime.
I mean, honestly, I'm not a big fan of the color scheme on that amiibo as far as the outfit goes. I think it's an ugly color scheme.
I like the original scheme better.
Yeah,
I think the prices of amiibos are too high, dude. I was always complaining about the $30. It's just too dang high. And for 2 radio stations, that ain't enough for $30 for me.
Yeah, like I said, I got Zero Suit Samus for $10. So yeah, no, I agree with you.
That's a neat looking amiibo there. I like that one. The Zero Suit Samus.
But most of them I got from there's like a game exchange. It's like where you go and you can like sell your old games, and then so I had a bunch of credits, and so I ended up picking up a lot of these amiibos just because I thought they were cool, not because I thought they did anything. But hell, they may do something for other games. I don't know.
They do.
But mostly they got for Smash Bros.
I pulled up an article and saw that apparently amiibos tend to do stuff in games. Various ones do various things. They're a cheat. I mean, yeah, you pay for them and they allow you to get like usually some little advantage or cheat in the game. $10, that's reasonable. I said that earlier. $5, $10, acceptable. $30 feels too high for me and feels like way too much just to get more.
You can't get
songs.
You can't get shit for $10 these days, man. What are you talking about? You can't even get a regular like G.I. Joe for $10 anymore.
I'm talking about from DLC content. I don't need a dang toy. I'm in my 40s. I don't need a toy. But if I was going to get a DLC, like an extra skin or something, or for my bike, I would not expect to pay. Like, for example, this feature, I stand by what I said, was being sold as a straight DLC. Hey, buy this, you get 2 new radio stations on your bike. Nobody would pay $30 for that.
I know. I mean, if it was a digital DLC, it would be most likely about $4.99. $4.99 to $9.99. $4.99 is the reasonable side. $99.99 is irreasonable. Anything above $9.99, you're just stealing.
But I mean, geez, these Nintendo Amiibos are all over the place. They range down to $15 and up to $50. Good Lord!
But yeah,
why would you pay $50 for that Amiibo? I don't even know who that character is.
Yeah, and then there is a new looks like a Silex amiibo that's $30 as well, but Yeah, you're right. The Samus in that pose is $29, but there is a Samus and Viola, which is the bike, for $40, which is absolutely ridiculous. But looks like there's only 3 of them that came out with this new with Metroid Prime 4. But
So-
there's a crap ton of different Samus
So to put the
amiibos.
nail in that coffin, there is apparently some ambient music / sound effects in the desert stage. The amiibo that allows you to get the radio stations is $30, and the game has came out to mixed reviews in general, which is what I've usually seen, with critics leaning heavily toward the high end because, well, Nora Armstrong and Mackenzie, and then gamers leaning toward mid. It's not a bad game. I haven't heard anybody say it sucks. But I've heard people say they were hoping for a lot more after waiting this long for a Metroid Prime. I get that feeling. Because the Metroid Prime games are really good games, and you would hope that by now they would have cranked out a 8 or 9 out of 10 instead of a 6 or 7. But I don't think
if they're able to charge these types of prices, they must be selling really good, though, right?
No.
So
there's the fanboys that are going to buy anything with Samus on it. I used to be one of those people, but I'm not anymore.
So as far as consoles go, Black Friday sales, Xbox, man, in the U.S. didn't even make it into the top 3. Switch only was 24% of the market, with PlayStation 5 managing to be still 47% of the U.S. market. In the UK, even worse for Xbox and Nintendo, because there wasn't an alternate console in the UK, but we still had a 62% PS5, only 23% Switch, and a 10% Xbox.
Look, I'm going to make sure I get everybody to understand this, okay? My beef with Sony is 50% personal, and 50% their tendency to not want to play nice with crossover and with exclusivities. As a console, Sony's not a bad console at all. Like, it's a better console than what Xbox put out. I preferred Xbox because previously there was these other practices they weren't doing. Like, example, when people said, we don't want a camera that's always on watching us, they took it off. They did what you want them to do. They took it off. When people were looking at them and, they never told us you're going to pray, we're going to pray, say we pay before recently. They actually did crossover and allow games on other platforms. All the things I didn't like about Sony's practices. But as a console, it's not the best console out there. They don't have the best exclusives. Their best thing they had going for them was Game Pass because it was a good cost reward effectiveness. But now it's too expensive.
I mean, to me, the Xbox, I don't know why the Xbox didn't do better. I thought their controller was better than the PlayStation controller. Their interface was 100 times better than the PlayStation's interface, having had both.
I will say that they did not play fighting games well, and the controller was shite. Yeah, for the PlayStation, I did not like the controller.
So as far as their biggest hang-up is the lack of exclusives, which we sort of wanted. We hoped they wouldn't do a bunch of exclusives, but apparently that's what you got to do to be in that market.
And that's why it's a better console, is that if you buy a PlayStation, you will play the biggest games that come out. Because Xbox is putting their games out on everything, and PlayStation still has IPs they don't share. So if you had to buy one console, I can understand buying a PlayStation. I'll never do it. Ever. Like, they just have not, they'd have to change way too much. And I just don't see it happening. Though, because I got a PC, I've just got no reason. And also, Sony ain't changing for the better anytime soon. But Xbox has been
here's the
up.
thing. The PC is resurging, and I think that's what killed the Xbox. Because anything I can play on the Xbox, it's the same thing I said when I bought an Xbox, because I did like the Xbox better. it was an issue of, well, now I can't play these certain games over here. Back when I had a PlayStation, I also had a PC. So then I had the best of both worlds. I could play anything Xbox put out because I had a PC, and then I could play the PlayStation exclusives. And honestly, with the way PlayStation has been, and their exclusives not being that great these last couple of generations, if they do come out with one, like they came out with, what was the game with the chick that had
Stellar
the
Last of Us.
huh?
Stellar Blade.
Yeah, Stellar Blade. I mean, Stellar Blade was an exclusive that got a lot of hype on PlayStation recently, but it is on computer now, so I'm willing to wait.
As from a pure console point of view, I can see where it outsells. Mainly because, like I said, there's no reason to buy an Xbox. They've made themselves have no purpose to have an Xbox versus a PC. Whereas there are some things that you will get on PlayStation that you'll either get to play a lot sooner or may not go over to PC. Now, personally, I'll eventually get there. PlayStation has generally eventually got everything over. So PC is the ultimate winner. But for consoles, and Nintendo doesn't have enough games out. And the games they're putting out, they did Donkey Kong Bonanza, amazing game. Looking at Donkey Kong Bonanza, it is the spiritual successor to Mario Odyssey, which I consider one of the best Mario games since Super Mario RPG. Just one of the best games. Interesting concept, lots of exploration, secrets, mechanics. It was an amazing game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, while I don't think it's quite Mario Odyssey, it is a pretty good, because it's something different, but it's got a whole different set of mechanics, but it's a spiritual successor. It's a good game. The Mario Kart World game, I've seen many Mario Kart fans say that they're not impressed with it. Metroid Prime is mid. So until they put out a Zelda game, and they only have, that's their IPs, dude. It's Metroid, Mario, and Zelda. That's their three main franchises. They did mid on the cart. They did good on Bonanza. They did mid on the Metroid. They only got Legend of Zelda left to save their ass, or this console's not worth buying. Because if you're buying it to play Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that's it right now.
You talking bad about Xbox has got people in the chat room thinking you're having a stroke, man, or about to.
Well, no, the fact he was talking positive about Sony regarding their sales is what's caused. Yeah, they're like, "Are you okay?"
Well, you got to realize though, this is on a scale of this is by comparison.
Yeah.
Like I consider Sony so far below PC that's bullying. But if I have to look at Sony and Microsoft, I don't favor Microsoft like I used to. But it's because of mismanagement though. It's mismanagement. The S was a piece of trash. They should have just put out the X. I wish I never bought an S. I don't think that they did a good job on that. And then they've mismanaged Game Pass. I mean, Stalker 2. Did we talk about Stalker 2? I don't think we ever really did.
We did last week.
Yeah. We talked about it being pulled?
Yeah.
From Game Pass?
Wait, being
We
pulled?
didn't talk about it. Did you look up the date?
Yeah, Stalker 2 is no longer on Game Pass.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, that big game that was a part of the launch of Game Pass, that was a day one, has no longer available on Game Pass. And worse, full price. Full price. Like I went to look it up, and it was like, you have to buy it now if you want to keep playing Stalker 2. That is a big bad sign, because it implies that you're not guaranteed the games that you thought you were on Game Pass as well. So I was messing with Bloodaxe going, man, it's a good thing you canceled most of your Game Pass. Like you downgraded because you probably weren't going to have access to Gears for more than about a year. Because that's about how long.
Dude, on top of that, I mean, Stalker 2 was one that came out in sort of a bad shape. They redid a lot of stuff on it. So by the time they got it as a better game, they took it off. They're like,
oh no, they literally took it off right before a major update to it. Yeah, it was about to get a really big update that was supposed to fix a bunch of problems. Yeah, this is really what happened. So you can't even trust the games that they're promising you are going to still be there on Game Pass. They literally, and why would you take it off? It already been on. Yeah, to buy Stalker 2 right now, It's $59.99. That's full price. So they didn't just pull it off. They pulled it off, and it's not even on sale. So if you were playing it, you're screwed. If you thought this game was going to stay in your library, you're wrong. So you can't even trust Game Pass. See, this is why I'm saying this. Now you know. I didn't know we hadn't covered this. You can't trust them. You can't even be sure that the games that they say, they might brag about putting a game out day one, and then the second it's about to get patched to be like, oh, it comes out, it's bad, it's about to get fixed, they pull it because they did that. So I can no longer endorse Game Pass because I can't guarantee that the value I'm saying you're going to get is going to even stick around. At least I don't think that's happening on PlayStation. I don't know because I don't follow PlayStation. But this is unfortunately a new issue for Game Pass. They raised the price and pulled Stalker 2 off. I want you to put that together. We're going to raise the price 50% and pull one of our major flagship. We made a big deal out of this game.
Sony's version of Game Pass basically gets ragged just about just not having their good games on it. But yes, that is.
It was removed November 15th, and they had a big patch coming up later in November, so it got removed before the patch that a lot of people have been waiting for the game. That was so funny.
But yes, Flint says in the chat room, Game Pass increased the cost and can't promise good games, no value. And that is pretty much why all of us have canceled our Game Pass or
and the games may not
lowest required to keep an Xbox going for Bloodaxes.
Yeah. And the game may not stick now. Now we know that the big games they put out might get ganked. They were moving around little games, but I didn't think they'd pull Stalker 2.
Yeah, they've moved big games before. We've seen day one releases get removed in the past.
Oh, which ones?
For a while, the original Outer Worlds, I think, got removed.
Outer Worlds was out before Game Pass came out, I thought. I'm talking about games that, like, day one.
No, that was a day one on Game Pass.
Original Outer Worlds? Man, I've had Game Pass for longer than I
thought. There's been a couple that I've seen that have gotten removed. I can't think of them offhand, but, I mean, I know they're there.
Man, so the original Outer Worlds was removed from Game Pass, even though they literally own the studio, which means they didn't have to do that. They chose to remove it. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that's messed up to me because I get the games they have to remove because they had a temporary deal. You feel me? We made a deal with this company. We put their game on Game Pass. They put the game on Game Pass for 6 months. But if they own the studio, they don't have to take it off.
It's on Game Pass right now, but I do remember there was a time that it got removed because I think it was when the expansion came out, or after the expansion came out, I thought about going back and playing it again, and it wasn't on there any longer. Also, I think that I don't know. There's been a couple of games I've thought about going to check out, and then go to find out they weren't on Game Pass anymore. But anyways, yeah, no, Xbox flopped for Black Friday. Switch 2 really didn't do that great at only 20, but I mean, in the U.S., Xbox didn't even make it into the top 3 consoles. Can you believe that?
I don't even know it. So what's the number 3?
Number 3 was some Next Playground. I don't even know what that is. As a matter of fact, I'm going to search it real quick. Next Playground. The active play system for kids and families.
That's embarrassing that you got beat out by something. You somehow got beat out by a system that major gamers like us didn't know was out there.
Well, yeah, it's like $149 on eBay, or you can get it brand new from Walmart for like $249.
Yeah, it's got a camera on it. It does a lot of those dance type games, apparently.
And the people want that more than a Xbox.
Ouch. Well, yeah, I mean, if it's a party games console, then I can compete with the Switch, but that shouldn't be competing with an Xbox.
Not outselling it. Ow. No, really. Like, dang.
That just shows you how
Xbox. I don't want you to think that I was meta gaming. No, I called it, and then Xeno backed me up on it. They're getting beat out by little dance camera games.
That just shows you how furious the the customers are with the increases with Game Pass and the decisions they've been making with Microsoft.
The $150 price tag probably did help. I mean, a lot of parents go in and they're just going to grab it because it's $150, man.
No, man. We're talking about one of the most well-known, largest companies in gaming consoles in the world. No. That's sad. That's sad. I didn't even know that was a thing. If you'd have told me they lost out to iPhones, people, I don't know, like people playing games on iPhone, but to lose out to some little mini device that I imagine probably can't do much else but dance games with the camera. Wow. Okay.
Yep.
So, glad I got my gaming PC before the whole RAM thing, because Nintendo about to be out the console game, man. You can't be losing to random. And what's worse is you didn't say it was number 4. Was it at least number 4? Like, no, he's going to get a top 10.
It only listed the top 3, and then the last 15% was listed as other. So Xbox is somewhere in that other. So we don't know where in the 15% or how much of that 15% is Xbox and the other. But, I mean, the UK only gave it 10%. So
Xbox was outsold by a little-known Kinect-style console and it's just a little box with a camera on it. Oh, God, those are those low-tier. Yeah, those are those little, like, I'm miming the basketball shot.
Well, you
lost out to Wii Sports.
So Mike in the chat room says also we're near the end of the gen's life cycle. But so is PlayStation 5 that took up 48% in the US and 60-something% in the UK. So
yeah, I managed to get the numbers, and Xbox X and S accounted for 10% of the sales.
Yeah, but PlayStation's notorious for putting their games out on the backwards console plus the current console. So even if you get a PS5, when they come out with PS6, you'll probably be able to get games for it for a year or two anyway.
I don't think you were paying attention to what I just said. I said 10%.
Yeah.
Let me put this in sight for you. 62% PlayStation, 23% Switch.
That's UK numbers. I already mentioned those numbers.
Oh, well, still 10% in there, which means that there's another 15% that wasn't Xbox on top of that. So, like, just devastatingly bad, dude. Like, those are horrible.
Yeah, you're losing your existing customers and you're not bringing in new ones. That's a death spiral.
Speaking of new customers,
is an Android-powered console. Oh my God, it is pretty much a cell phone. Bam, Q calls it. They lost out to a cell phone console. All right, I'm gonna stop. You know what? I'm just gonna start calling me Q-Stradamus.
So
I made a joke about a phone. It's an Android. The console's a dang Android. Bam.
Speaking of new customers, what do you think about Saudi Arabia? Apparently, their cut in EA is 93.4%.
I know. I was shocked. I thought it'd be more.
You thought it'd be more? All right.
I didn't think that. I thought the mother suckers would just own the paperwork, man. I thought it was gonna be like 0.5.
I thought they'd have like 51%. I thought they'd have a controlling share versus the smaller, affinity partners and.
Yeah, but you're still technically supposed to listen to people at least a little bit if you have 51. But at 93%, the janitor has more say-so than the other holders. Like at 93%, you don't exist.
Everybody was freaking out about a lot of people on the left side of politics were freaking out about Jared Kushner's, but his affinity partners only has 1.1%. The American Global Private Silver Lake only has 5.5%.
So it's pretty much at 93%, they don't have a say. I'm sorry, you just don't have enough of a say to even bother opening your mouth when some decision's made.
Yeah.
If I had 5% in a company, but the other 90-something% was one entity, I'm pretty much gonna go, okay, so I'm just along for the ride to try to make some money, but I'm not. I don't even get to. I don't even get to see the console, let alone touch the command deck. You know what I'm saying? I get sent a picture of the command deck, but I'm not even in the room, and that's it. Of course, this is freaking some people out, but it's what I expected. Because how's the best way to say it? Why the heck wouldn't you? I mean, just being honest, you pay that kind of money. You don't want Western influence. You don't. I mean, they're not. They don't want what we're doing to our games.
Well, I wouldn't say that. The Saudi Arabia, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into politics, but Saudi Arabia is trying to mend a lot of fences with Western world. If you watch anything political, you will have seen the prince has been over here recently talking to the president and several other things. So it does seem like Saudi Arabia is trying to go, hey, we're not the people you think we are, you know.
But they want to make money, and they're not going to follow with the woke West, the path that a lot of us are going right now.
I mean, that's also not the Western people that they're talking to. They're not talking to the woke West.
No.
Let me rephrase that, too. It ain't even about the woke West. It's just the really bad at business West, which, yes, happens to be the woke West. But we've watched game industries collapse. Like, I was watching a video a little while ago that talked about how Dragon Age Veilguard collapsed an entire franchise and studio. Like, they got scattered to the four winds. The franchise is dead. This is what they're doing, the products. We talked about, I think, last time, how nothing from Star Wars catches our interest. Like, nothing. We're probably going to roll into that. We heard there was some stuff might be coming out for it. We don't care.
One. No, there is one that has my interest, and when we get into it, I'll talk about it. But no, there's one that I'm keeping the pulse on. But from a television and movie perspective, don't care. I saw something already today where they're supposed to be with some of the new series retconning the sequel trilogy and out the window, but but I think there's a pivot that's happening, and it's going to take back 2 or 3 years to get all this other stuff in the pipeline out of the cycle. And I think we'll have a resurgence of hopefully some good gaming and entertainment. But right now we're playing older games, and we're suffering through the newer games because we're tired of playing the older games. I mean, you know how many hours this week alone Q and I have bitched and complained about Borderlands 4 while playing Borderlands 4? Because there's nothing really else to play except for where the winds meet, which I can't play. And I've already finished Dying Like the Beast, and I can't play with him, so I can't discuss the end of the game with him. So it's right now we're just kind of in a vicious cycle of waiting for new shit to come out.
Yeah, and there's an example. Western game Dying Like the Beast, no damn crossplay. Free Chinese game Where the Winds Meet, can play with everybody, can literally take your game progress and move it to your mobile device. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about woke. I'm just talking about lazy and greedy to where no effort is going in. One of our things we and him were complaining about, and poor Zeno has to listen to, because I don't care if he stopped playing Borderlands 4. I'm going to make him still know. Yeah, dang it. Till he come back, I'm going to keep him aware. They didn't do anything. No patches, no updates, nothing to the game. I think we talked about that. Well, guess what happened last week? Nothing again. So now in the last 4 weeks, they've had 3 weeks of just nothing. Well, they're not patching the game. They're not updating. Well, they had one big update, and then all of the weeks are taken off.
We can talk about that a little more, but I do want to jump back over to EA. We're having comments in the chat room. We're also talking about EA. EA has been awful long before this purchase. Is there anything to be seriously concerned about here? And I will say, for EA's IPs, I mean, it's some of its biggest IPs is sports games. So that's not really a big concern there. Honestly, maybe we can get something new out of those. Haven't in a while. They've been just sort of repeating the same game over and over again, with not even updating graphics and stuff, just changing out the teams and making you pay full price again. Battlefield's been doing really good. So that could be a pain point. And the biggest one that most people are afraid of, and this comes a lot from the LGBTQ and all that stuff, is The Sims, because The Sims is massively supportive of the alphabet community. What else are you gonna call him? So I see Q's face. Like, did he just say that?
I'm like,
So I don't want to say all those letters again.
You left a few off. So, there's a number in there now.
Yeah. So anyway, so The Sims is probably the biggest concern. Now, there was rumors that The Sims was going to be the main thing that Kushner and the other private organization got, and that the Saudi Arabia wasn't going to have much hands in Sims. But looking at the percentage that they have, I think that's unlikely now.
I hope they leave it alone, because I could care less about The Sims. I don't care what they're doing over there in The Sims. I've heard it gets weird. The mods are creepy, but I don't care. They can do whatever they want in The Sims.
Sims is,
like I said, I just don't want them like the ruining of games I like. I don't like The Sims, so I don't care. I never care.
I mean, we're talking about EA here, and The Sims is a major franchise for EA. I mean, to get everything for The Sims, like The Sims 4, all the DLC, all that stuff, you're talking thousands of dollars people put into that game.
Good. That's a serious market.
Yeah,
dude. Sell games.
They come out with a new expansion that's about probably $30 to $40 every year, plus multiple small expansions that are about $5 a piece almost every quarter. They usually put out about 2 or 3 of those. They have 3 different levels of expansions, and they release multiple each year. So,
but The Sims is basically just make believe real life, going to work and fixing a toaster and shit, right?
Yeah,
$1,562.
There you go.
I'm on Steam. It is $1,562 to have everything for The Sims 4. You know what I say? Keep it gay. Because holy crap, man, if they're pulling that off, look, I'm fair. I'm a businessman.
Hey.
I say you sell to your audience. And if that's your audience, it could be gayer. Because hell, I'll make a gay-ass game if you pay me that. I'll star in the game digitally. Not really. But I'll let you put my character in there as a sim. I don't care. Because that's some money.
Wouldn't do it.
They can have a digital Q. I don't care.
I don't want my likeness doing stuff that I.
I can make if I can make a few thousand, I could care less. Dude, they can do it anyway. Mods, they can do it anyway. I'd rather get paid. Deep fakes are real. Make your money. But no, that's my point. Is that if this is the audience, I hope they know not to mess with this. Because no, don't do that. It's like I said. I hate that the Life is Strange series stopped. I actually rather like the series. I used to follow the stories and stuff. I never bought them, I won't lie, but I don't buy every game I like. Sometimes I just follow it. But I was a fan of the lore. And because they always had a new power and how it interacted. It was always interesting the way they did it, especially the emotion one where she could see the emotions and how sometimes the wrong thing to do. Anyway, I like choice. I like the diversity of interaction. Those games are very good.
Well, yeah, and Flynn has a good point in the chat room. He says, what's killing games is bad representation in characters, bad game design, removal of favorite features like crossplay, and game cost is too high. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Correct. And hopefully, I mean, with it being somebody who is new to the industry, maybe they'll be willing to look at those things.
My hope is that they'll do what any real businessman would do. They'll sit down and they'll go, what's this franchise? Star Wars or whatever. Okay, cool. Who's playing this? Who's our fan base? Okay. Let's run some tests. Let's go out there. See who buys the game. All right. Ask them what they want. Make that game. Yeah, but what about inclusion? What the numbers say? Okay, there you go. There you go. Fighting games for fighting game players. Racing games for racing game players. Greedy barbarian hack and slash is for people that are into that stuff. That's what we do. And then it's fair because guess what? They won't mess with The Sims if they follow my rules. Who's playing The Sims? Oh, what do they want in their games? Oh, they want these features, diversity, inclusion, all lifestyles to be represented.
Well, yeah,
which makes
and that's
sense.
the thing.
It's literally called The Sims.
The Sims has included this stuff and kept
For
a
years,
has kept a relatively high rating as a game. So obviously
Dude,
the people who are playing the game are cool with it.
What about the costumes, dude? We go to cons. We see so many Sims costumes. It's very popular. It's an easy one to do, but it's still a sign of the fans. I probably see more of those than I see of any one particular anime. Like, they have a very strong fan base community. You'd be an idiot to portray that community. Just like you'd be an idiot to mess up Dragon Age. That's all I'm saying. It's the same argument. And look, I'm not a hypocrite, man. It's the same argument.
No, it's identifying your target audience and giving your target audience what they want in a game, which they didn't do in Valgard. Look at Expedition 33. Very, very small studio, $40 game, phenomenal. They picked their target audience and they gave them something for that target audience to enjoy.
I will say, on the note of The Sims, I used to have an EA subscription. Sims was free, so I used to play around with it some. Has a large modding community that will take out the things that you don't want as well, and nobody has stopped them yet. So they've been pretty open about also, we're putting this stuff in here.
They must not be doing that on Nexus.
Huh?
They must not be doing that on Nexus.
No.
Nexus don't play that.
But you can, dude, they have some also nearly, you can add a strip club to your Sims with mods.
Dude, I unfortunately know what's in The Sims. Yes, it caters to all flavors. Anyway, I'm going to say another statement. I believe that one of the saddest problems, that the reason that we have this problem with IPs being co-opted is because there isn't enough franchises specifically targeted to the LGBTQ community. I kind of hate that for them. I get it. I am empathetic enough to realize they don't have a lot of stuff that's heavy LGBTQ. Companies just don't want to invest the money into it. And that's why they do this. You wonder why a big company decides to try to cater to that particular community, but only through a really popular IP? Because they feel it'll cushion the losses. They don't think it's going to make money, but because it's a popular IP, it's going to absorb some money from previous fans. Instead of creating quality franchises that endure for that community that wants just that content for themselves. They don't want our content. They want their own content.
We've seen it work, man. There's several indie games that target that market that have done massively well.
But I could get that every now and then they'd like a AAA company to put some real money behind it. I could get that feeling.
No, I
could
get
them going like, hey, we'd like it if like EA or Ubisoft really put some money behind it. And the reason I say this is because, again, I don't want to be a hypocrite, and I'm not going to lie, dude. I love the Black Panther movie. It's one of the highest budget black and superhero movies that ever come out. I really appreciate that. I like that movie had all the effort and money that was put behind the other Marvel movies.
I mean, Flynn's reading my mind today, man, because that's where I was about to go. But at the same time, you can also make a AAA company game where I can be any of those things or not.
But see, now you're beating the old Dicejunkies' old horse. I mean, the best scenario is if you just had choice.
Yeah.
Period. But the problem is, when they make a game for the LGBT community, they remove the hetero choice. When they make a game that's not for them, they remove the LGBTQ choice. Look, my boy Preston hit on me constantly. I told him to stop, but we still cool. And until they put that patch in, he constantly hit on me. Hey, man, we talk about our relationship. No, let's go shoot some bandits, dude. My girlfriend's right here. I put in a mod. That's Nora. I have a mod where I found Nora. She's right. That's my wife. You know, you look at her like, man, that's my wife, dude. What you? she gonna get real confused. She gonna be like, "Why your friend Preston always pressing you?" All right, I'll be funny, but it didn't bother me. I've never been bothered that it existed. Dude, I didn't even get mad when I messed up and Iron Bull slipped one by. I reset to the earlier save, but Iron Bull got me. He's still one of my favorite companions in the game. You know, but it's
Dragon
like, I don't want to wake up in bed with Iron Bull. You know what I'm saying?
Dragon Age 1 through Inquisition did that really well, but when the Vile Guard came out, they just completely threw choice out the window, and that's why people like us who normally would buy it and just play it the way we wanted to, so you know what, it's not for us, we're not the target audience, and that's why they end up losing money.
Yeah.
But hopefully
it's the belief they have to. Oh, go ahead, man. My bad.
I was hoping with the new acquisition, both the new Mass Effect game, assuming they come out with a new Mass Effect game, and also the next Dragon Age will come back to what brought those franchises into the forefront to begin with, and give us good quality games with
and
choices.
I believe that you should be able to make the character you want and play the character the way you want to play. This is the best way to do inclusion. But when you remove choice, you isolate. I don't want to play as certain characters. If I don't have a choice, I'm not going to play your game.
Well, to move on to the next topic, speaking of removing choice, Netflix to buy Warner Brothers.
I didn't know where you were going. I was like, did I miss one?
So Netflix released Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers following the separation of Discovery Global for a total enterprise value of $82.7 billion, equity value of $72 million. So that means they will be taking over Warner Brothers and HBO, depending on everything going through. To my understanding, that also includes Warner Brother Games that Netflix will own. So
that's going to jack the price of Netflix up.
Yeah, but maybe it'll finally put the final nail in Western entertainment. Because like I said, dude, Netflix doesn't have quality. Netflix sucks. I mean, if you every time I think Netflix has disgusted me the most it can, a video pops up and tells me, hey, have you heard of Big Mouth? I'm not going to go into that show, but that was some of the most disgusting stuff I'd ever seen. And I'm just like, and I never did get over the Cuties debacle, so we watch anime. I ain't gonna lie, I watch YouTube creator content, and I watch anime, and I watch martial arts. I don't even, if I haven't watched something dang near that wasn't subtitled in a while. It wasn't from YouTube, obviously, because YouTube I watch, I watch American creators because you know what they're about and you can pick it. But
dude, we watch so much subtitled stuff at this point. It feels weird when we're doing something that's not subtitled. Like my brother, he's been playing Where Winds Meet, and he was on the phone with me. I could hear the voice. I was like, "Are you playing the game in English?" Like we play with sub, man.
So I mean, that's my thing. So at this point, I've given up, dude. Like for example, I'm a huge Marvel guy. Me and Flynn grew up together on Marvel. We were like, man, the freaking X-Men and Black Panther, Blade, and we're flipping through the comics, man. We be chilling, checking out the comics. This is my childhood. And I don't even know when Doomsday come out. I don't care. I ain't looking up the stingers anymore. I don't give a damn. Like, and that's sad to me because it ain't that I don't give a damn. It's just I don't give a damn about what they doing. Like, I'm more interested if I hear somebody else is doing something with Marvel than Disney. It sucks, and Netflix is gonna ruin anything Warner's had that didn't already suck and make it worse. So to me, it's just, you know what, get it all under one umbrella so I know how to avoid it easier. Now I know not to watch anything from Warner Brothers anymore, which I probably already knew because Suicide Squad and the game and the show and actually they can buy Warner, but why the heck do we care they buy Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers sucks. Just thought about that. They ain't done nothing good in a while. They're terrible.
I don't know. I liked Peacemaker and
man, that barely pulled it off because it was funny. I liked it, but I'm not gonna say it was quality. It was funny.
I will say the second season was not quite as good as the first, but it had its moments.
Do you know why? One of the main reasons is a big problem with comedy. when your comedy's main hit is merely that you didn't expect it, it was a surprise that this superhero show was so dark and raunchy in its comedy. Well, it can't surprise you twice. You know now. You went into the second season expecting rated R, Deadpool style humor.
I did not expect the first couple episodes to be just a massive orgy, though. They got me there.
They were trying to shock you again, except that sex humor's not that funny to me. That I'm just like, oh my goodness, nudie parts. Oh no!
Whatever. It had its humor in the fact it was going on around the character who was so out of it. He didn't even really know it was. He couldn't even really tell what was going on. But I mean, dude, like I said, they hit some good humor parts. Of course, they threw in the
Penguin. Penguin was pretty good. I'm looking them up. Penguin was pretty good.
Penguin was good.
Oh God, these others are terrible though. Riverdale. Oh yeah, that was bad. Sandman, not too bad. I want to check that out at some point. I actually would not mind sitting down and watch the Sandman because I've seen some clips that make it look interesting. Oh yeah, they're the same people that went from Teen Titans to Teen Titans Go. Thundercats to Thundercats Go. No, Warner Brothers sucks. I go back. Yeah, no, Warner Brothers sucks now. They're terrible. I hope not. I'm glad Netflix bought them because they're going to lose money on it. And Netflix losing money is a win because you can't change Disney and Netflix's minds about the bad decisions they make until literally they've lost enough money that they cannot deny the reality. And even BlackRock and Vanguard can't bail them out anymore.
But Netflix is hit or miss, man. Netflix has come out with some good stuff. Who knows? Maybe they see some writing on the wall, man.
The writing is you shouldn't have bought Warner Brothers. That's what the writing.
I mean, maybe they come out with the new Bab 5 and blow it out the water. Who knows? You know.
If the people who decide to make it blow it out the water, but Netflix is very hands off, dude. They're not going to fix Warner Brothers. They're hands off. I mean, I give them respect for that. They have gotten good products because they've been hands off. But Netflix doesn't interfere. Now, I'm going to defend them on that. Netflix seems to allow people to make whatever they want. No matter how good, bad, disgusting, seemingly illegal, they don't care. They just let you make it and they will put it out. Now, if you get lucky and a creator decides to do a good job, yeah. But that's a roll of the dice. But is Netflix going to make things better? No. No, they're not. Are they going to make it worse? Probably not. WB will be WB. Now, give this. Netflix will cancel something that ain't working. So now that is one good thing. Now, some of these shows that WB kept rolling out will get axed fast. I do seem to remember that Netflix will cancel you pretty quick.
Well, Netflix will cancel you pretty quick, but they'll also throw a life preserver out there. I mean, there have been several shows that the fans have loved that the networks have canceled and Netflix has finished out their seasons. I mean, Lucifer got its seasons finished because of Netflix. I know there's several other TV shows that have managed to get their be able to finish their season because of Netflix. They do tend to listen to audience when selecting some things. I don't know. They like I said, they're hit or miss, man.
You know what? You know me. Both of y'all should know me well enough. I just realized they could give me one TV show that I've been waiting for years, especially a live action of, and we cool. What is it? A DC superhero show that I've been wanting for a while. Flynn probably gonna beat you. Flynn gonna beat you in the chat if you don't say it because he know what I'm talking about. There's this one show I'd love to see.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name right off. It's
it's a race. Who's first? Is Flynn going? The problem is the delay. Y'all can beat him because y'all have a head start.
I'm not a DC guy. I know you've talked about the character.
Yeah, I know you both probably can see him, but you don't remember the name.
Mm-mm.
Come on, Flynn. Have you heard me yet? Come on, you got this. No. Close. I think that he became the mentor of the character.
Or no, that's Black Lightning, not Blue Lightning.
Yes, Black Lightning became his mentor in one show. But I would like a show featuring Virgil Hawkins, a.k.a. Static Shock.
Static Shock, yeah.
I would love a live-action Static Shock. That would be I've been waiting years for that show. If they'll give me a Static Shock series, we on. Oh, you missed it. Flynn missed it. I was telling him the one way Netflix can make peace with me is that they give me a live action Static Shock. And what's cool is that Static Shock already approached these issues. You don't even have to be woke. It talked about race. His friend's dad, his white friend's dad, was super racist. It's appropriate because it would be comic book accurate.
Apparently, James Gunn was working on a Static Shock movie, but it got put on hold.
I don't want James Gunn. I want a series that's serious. No, I don't need rated R weirdo Static Shock. James Gunn don't do serious right. He got me talking hood. He does not do serious.
I mean, there was 4 seasons of a Static Shock animated.
A new Static Shock animated?
No, that was back in 2000.
Oh, yeah, that's the original show, yeah. And he was in the Young Justice, and I believe I know in the comic books he became his mentor, and I believe in a cartoon. I don't know if in the Black Lightning TV show Static Shock showed up. I'm not aware if he ever showed up in the show. But I would love a live-action Static Shock. Yeah, the animated was good. Flynn in there, it was good. I would love a live-action, but I want a series, because when you have a series, you're not rushed. You can actually tell the story. I would like a series. They do that, we cool. Because I did realize you're right, because didn't Netflix do the really good Luke Cage and Daredevil? Yeah. So, and that's why I wouldn't mind. Now, that's who I want to work on it. Give me the Luke Cage team. Give me the Daredevil team for Static Shock. And heck, man, I'll get a membership for a while. I'd go get a membership for a month or 2 to watch it. I'd be excited to see the guys who did Luke Cage, especially season 1 Luke Cage. Season 1 Luke Cage was artistry. I'd love that. Man, so you know what? You're right. There is potential here. Whether we'll see it, I don't know. But the one good thing is by buying WB, they have access to the license for these characters, so they can have someone else, because it doesn't have to be WB that does it. If they own WB, can't they let someone else make a Static Shock show? Because they technically own Static Shock as well? Or do they have to do it through Warner Brothers?
Well, no, you can license stuff out.
And if you own them, you can tell them to do it. So.
I mean, normally what happens with a lot of TV shows is somebody comes up with a script, they bring it to the people who own it, and then they give them money to make it. You know, now usually when they do that, they may go, well, we want this guy to produce it, we want this guy, and we want this guy to be in it, and if you can agree to those things, then we'll greenlight your script.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I'm fanboying with my boy Flynn. I told you we grew up on this stuff. Yeah, he was in Batman Beyond. That was friggin' awesome. Every episode that Batman appeared in Static Shock was amazing. Especially when it was Static Shock versus the Joker. I would love to see that series. And that's what I'm trying to hope for. Because I wouldn't want WB to do Static Shock. I would want the other people who've done other IPs really well, like some of the Marvel IPs that were done through the Netflix shows, to do Static Shock.
I guess the biggest
and if
problem...
that's possible...
The biggest problem that Netflix has is finishing, because they'll start something like The Witcher, and then they'll destroy it. After a couple of seasons, or they'll start something like Stranger Things, and then it just sort of goes off the rails towards the.
Well, it goes back to the problem of Netflix doesn't really sometimes put their foot down. Netflix should have said. No show, no Henry Cavill, no show. That should have been what Netflix should have
We'll get an awesome Castlevania animated series, and then we'll get one that blows chunks. I
don't know what happened between like that and Nocturne. I don't know. Them suckers ain't even in the same stratosphere. I would have thought that nobody that did the first couple of seasons of Castlevania were even present for Nocturne, man. I'm not even saying it's bad. I haven't watched enough of it to make that judgment. I am saying it's so different, I didn't finish it. Because it did not feel like what I had been watching up to that point. Because I'm a big Isaac man. I don't have the shirt on under it this time, but he knows I got a best gift I got. My friend out there I don't know if I'm not gonna dox him, I guess, but he knows who he is. Man, I still wear the shirt. Thank you very much. I love my Isaac shirt. Isaac was my favorite, and he's changed. He's a changed character, but that's an example of the kind of change you can get behind because it was just so well executed.
But I mean, Netflix
you're gonna
is
change
also
a character,
the same.
do a good job.
Yeah, Netflix is also the same network that put its foot down for comedians and said, "Hey, this is a comedy show. Get over it." You know.
They backed Chappelle. Yeah, they backed Chappelle.
But they also backed Cuties. So
they used real kids in that. Real underage kids.
Yeah. So Netflix is it's a mixed bag, man. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I will never make fun of the trend of casting adults as teenagers again after Cuties. I suddenly went, I'd rather they had casted some 18 and 19-year-olds that were short. It is very disturbing that they used real children for that, man.
It wasn't made in America, you know, and so it got away. They were young enough to be illegal. I don't think it would have been made if it was made in America.
Hell no. Huh? Hell no, it would have been made. Somebody would have got arrested.
Yeah.
Only the French can pull that shit off.
Sacre Bleu.
I don't remember who made it, and I don't want to Google it to find out.
I wouldn't want that either.
You'll get a stream of all kind of inappropriate stuff coming to your phone at that point, or your PC.
You should come to our film festival. We have some screenings for you.
You still get weird YouTube things from a search from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, I'm messing him all town. I come over to his house and we're hanging out, and his YouTube comes up, and I'm like, man, what the heck is that? He's like, look, man, I searched the topic. Now they keep suggesting like baby pop, K-pop, rock, baby goth, pop, you know, weird music videos. I'm just like, you know, you listen to that, man.
But all right, guys, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up. I mean, we had one other topic. If you want to mention it real quick, it was just Embracer apparently is doing more layoffs with Eidos Montreal.
Which supposedly may interrupt the remake of, God dang it, Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver, Soul whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you also tease a Star Wars thing, but I guess we'll get that next week.
But we don't know enough, dude.
We talked about it at the beginning of the show before we started. I mean, it was there wasn't much to it other than the fact that it was some small post that says that Star Wars released for Game Awards.
Yeah, there's rumors that the Game Awards will have an announcement of a new Star Wars game. That was what I was talking about earlier for those of y'all who paid attention, which was that's how bad it is. Dude, I love lightsabers. My biggest thing about Star Wars is I like the Jedi's power suite and their swords. I like games where I get to be a Jedi. No interest. Like when I heard they announced another game, I was like, could care less.
And yet you never played Jedi Fallen Order Survivor, which is an RPG game.
I played the first one. I didn't play anyone after that because the gameplay style was not what I expected.
The first one had really, really wonky controls. They improved it significantly in the second one. All of the story in the second one was kind of weird.
That's why I wasn't quite pulled in. It looked.
Well, you looked up the spoiler, yeah. So
gotta know if the game's worth buying, dude. You can't just look.
We're all suffering, dude.
We are all suffering from what's the buttheads Gearbox. We're all suffering from buyer's remorse from Borderlands 4. We should have waited a year to buy it.
We knew it after Wonderland. After Wonderlands, we should have known not to buy BL4, but we got suckered in again. Thank you, Randy Pitchford. That's $80. Actually, it's $120 I won't get back. But you know what?
Hey.
I'm going to keep playing because I can play with my friends.
We've got our money's worth out of it. We've played enough hours. And in a year, it'll be the game we hoped it would be. In a year.
Now that I finally figured Harlow out, they're going to nerf her. They're going to nerf her. It's going to piss me.
What? You ain't been paying attention. Harlow was a strong black woman. You lost your damn mind. They're going to nerf Amon.
Oh. All right. Now, that note, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where we find links everywhere we are. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.